Hello everyone, welcome to Foreigner Farming in the Philippines.
Oi. Hold me no.
Oi.
This one is full. Hey, come on.
The big boss, the little boss, and I are out here at the shrimp pond. I'm going to open this up a little bit here and let some water in. It's actually not as low as I thought it would be. I think overall we've lost maybe 8 inches of water height since we filled it up and put the shrimp in, and that's kind of sort of okay, but we've got high tides for the next 4 days. And so I brought my trusty shovel and I'm gonna open this up right here and let some water in. It's not quite high enough yet. It's not even over the bags. So it's going to take quite a bit of shoveling, but it is what it is.
Why in that part that is not?
Huh?
It's not. The water is not flowing yet. Not.
Because the tide's not that high yet. And it probably won't get that high today. Maybe tomorrow, but not today.
You need me?
No.
You need me? Help? You need me help.
Yeah, you need help. Nothing I can do for you.
You need me help? I will swim there today. How deep you're going to dig?
Oh, another inch or two. So it's like even with those bags.
Ah, okay. It's almost on.
Almost.
Faster. Oh my god. You're bad. You're very bad.
Alright, I've got this dug out. I'm just trying to get it leveled out. I need to do a little stepping on this end here. So it's flowing in, not much yet, but just gotta wait on the tide. And it's still rising. The river's still flowing left to right. I think this tide's supposed to be about 3 inches higher, 2 inches higher, 2 to 3 inches higher than what it is right now. So we're not going to get a lot of water in the pond today, but I'm going to leave this down so I don't have to do it tomorrow or the next day or the next day. And I'm just going to leave this until the level of the pond gets equal with this channel. Now what I'm going to do to keep it from eating out completely, I mean, I'm going to be here each day, but in about 30 minutes I'm going to get one of those empty sacks right there, maybe 2 of them, and I'm going to line the top of this with sacks to stop erosion. So water's going in. That's a good thing. And the tide's still coming in at a pretty good clip. As you can see, we're nowhere near where we were before. It might get even with that top board today. I don't think it will, but it might get that high. The highest tide that they're predicting is Monday. Today's Friday, and that tide is supposed to be a 2.03 or 04, and that would fairly easily top this board here, and that's fine. It just lets more water in. I'm not worried about it at all. However, on I think the 30th of this month, right around in there, I've got to double check, there is a tide which I'm sure you would call a king tide. That high tide that we had here that almost stopped these banks, that's why we shored this up here, was a 2.19. That's how they measure it. And it was close to going over right here. Around the 28th or to 30th, somewhere around in there, they're predicting a tide of 2.24, which is 5 centimeters, or about, what is that, 2 inches higher than that crazy high tide that we had before. So we're going to have, it's going to be dang old interesting, let's put it that way, at the end of this month. It'll work out just about right to let more water into this pond, but right down here around the Panama Canal, we may have some overtopping issues, and along in here as well. I mean, that is just really, really high. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but definitely going to have to come down here with shovels, with shovel in hand, and be prepared. It just started to sprinkle a few minutes ago, but I guess it stopped now. We're getting a little more water in there. It's not a torrent by any means, but that right there is probably what is constantly flowing out of this pond, either leaking out or through evaporation. Probably about that much water right there. So at least for the last 10 minutes the pond hasn't been going down any. And what I want to do is to raise the level of this pond up even, at least even to that drain channel right there. So it's not going to happen today, probably won't even happen tomorrow. Maybe by Monday we can get it up that high. That's almost a foot higher than what it is right now, and that would again cover all the exposed land out there, because it's starting to get quite a bit exposed again. So we definitely needed a water exchange, not an exchange, but an addition, and it's just worked out just pretty much on schedule that we get to put some fresh water in this right when we need it the most. Alright, well, the river is heading back out to sea now, so the tide's falling, and it's fallen maybe half an inch from its high point. So that was about 4 inches from going over that top board. It's still coming into the pond down here, and it will continue for probably another 30 minutes because the level of the pond is significantly lower than the level of the river, even though the river's falling. So we let a fair amount of water in. Now I'm not gonna shovel that back. I'm just gonna leave it. The tide tonight will not be high enough to come over that, so I'm not worried about it being eaten out by the high tide tonight. Tomorrow we'll have to come back and monitor it, same as we did today. I'm tempted, I'm sorely tempted just to concrete this in. I'm more worried about contaminating the water from the lime than I am anything else. I would love to just cement this in like it is right there, so that at any point where there's a high tide like this one, the water will come in to replenish. There's so many leaks in this pond, it's never going, almost never going to fill it up higher than what this would be for the water to flow back out. And even if it did, so what? We can always put a screen here. But if we could just maintain the level of this channel right here in the pond, it would be pretty much perfect. Even though it's like a foot less than maximum capacity. The level of that channel right there is a foot higher than what the pond is right now, and would be incredibly beneficial to the shrimp, because then all that area out there would be covered, and more Lamont production and cooler water temperatures overall, because the deeper the water is, the cooler it'll be. So too late now to cement that in, because I most surely would not want to contaminate this water from the lime with concrete. But what I'll probably do is take some sacks and line that like a channel and see how that does. If they're laid flat as a chute there, then I'm thinking it would keep it from eroding. So I'll try that. We'll get out here early enough tomorrow so that the water's not flowing, and I'll get that in place so that because look, pretty soon there's going to be someone out here 24/7, and we're bringing the solar out here on Sunday so that we can have lights, and if we can find another little small inverter, we can have gadget charging and whatnot. But I've got to find a little small inverter somewhere, similar to the one we had out at the ocean fish pen. But even that little one was pricey, as I recall. It was like 2,500 pesos. Can't really remember. It was somewhere around in there, which I thought was exorbitantly high for a 400 or 500 watt inverter. But Jen's father needs to use a nebulizer on occasion, and if he stays out here overnight, he'll need access to power so he can run his nebulizer. And we need a light too, and charge gadgets and whatnot. So we're going to bring that solar panel and a battery out here. I don't want to bring my system from the house out here, because that's our emergency system. That keeps us from being without power in a power outage, so that at least we have Wi-Fi and can charge our gadgets if there's a prolonged period of no electricity, and I'm not going to give that up for this shrimp pond. So before we can get a real solar system out in here, we'll just use the small one that we have and make it work. I'm going to stay about another 10 minutes until this water almost stops flowing, and then we're going to head out of here. We've brought the level of the pond up maybe a half an inch, maybe, and hopefully during these next 4 days we can the tides get successively higher each day by a couple inches, so that the tide on Monday will be there will be water roaring through that. And that's why I want to get those sacks in place so it doesn't get that all eaten out. Today was kind of like a trial run, and we've gained some depth, and it's a good thing. So we'll get it set up the way that we want it. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.